Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we're going to be making a video, and it's probably going to be quite a long video, and it's going to go very deep. So you're probably wondering why the upload schedule has been a bit all over the place recently. So pretty much I've been getting a lot of pain and pretty much spasms all over. So I'm going to tell you why at pretty much the end, but I'm going to take you all the way back to when I was about 7 years old. So when I was around about 7 years old, I started to experience a lot of pain around my neck and my shoulder blades. And it proceeded to get a lot worse, so we proceeded to go to the hospital. And they didn't give us a scan, they pretty much just told us to wait, see if it got worse, and it did get worse. I experienced lots and lots of pain, spasms, countless crying over and over again. And when I was about 9, I got diagnosed for an astrocytoma at the top of the spine, right in the spinal cord, which is a type of tumour classed as cancer. So yeah, what they proceeded to do is put me on chemotherapy. The chemotherapy lasted about, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 months it lasted. I could be wrong there. And that did work. They completely stopped the tumour from working, and I was free from the tumour for around about a couple of years until I was around about 13. And then I started getting pain again, and my parents noticed a slight curve in my back. So we went to the doctors once again, and we had a scan, and we saw the tumour has been growing. But not only that, it started to form like types of cysts down my spine. So what they proceeded to do, they tried the chemotherapy again, lasted 6 to 7 months or so, and then they found it didn't work. So they did a plan B. They put me on another treatment. I'm not quite sure what it was. I did lose all my hair once again, like I did chemo, and that seemed to work and shrink it. So like I said, repeated all over again, was good for about another 2 years until I was 16. And then you could really see, you could see when I was going to school where the people were looking at me, that my back was beginning to curve at like a lot more. We're talking quite a lot of degrees curved now. So what happened, and I started to experience pain. So what happened, we went in another time, and we saw the tumour had grown rapidly, and it had formed quite big cysts down my spine, which obviously caused my spine to pretty much curve, and it started to really affect the way that I live, because I started finding it hard to walk, do anything really, go outside. So they were pretty much talking about treatments, because it was just getting immune to all the other ones that we've been doing. So they decided to operate on that. So I had an operation when I was about 16, and they removed all the tumour. So once they removed all the tumour, obviously I had the time to recover after the biopsy. And then they had to focus on the spine, because at this point in time, my spine was like, it was nearly a right angle. If you saw a picture of me, and it was literally like a right angle, it was absolutely horrendous. Really struggling walking, doing pretty much anything. I was just stuck indoors, couldn't go out with my mates. Could see all my mates going enjoying themselves, and there's me just sat at home doing absolutely nothing. So yeah, guys, pretty much what they decided to do is they pretty much decided to put rods in. And what that does, it pretty much means that you get put to sleep on an anesthetic, and they go in, and pretty much they have a monitor, and they said beforehand, we're going to try and do as much as they can because the curve was that bad, and if they hit something wrong, then it could be fatal. So I went in, and they pretty much put metal poles in my back made out of titanium, screwed it into the spine, and tried to make the spine as straight as possible. So I came out after the operation, and that pain was literally, I think, the worst pain I think I've ever imagined, because I had been stuck in a position that was just not right for so long. Being at least a little bit straighter, and the spine movement, it was just agony. I was countless crying, and it was absolutely awful. So yeah, it was just really difficult for me. So, well, that worked, and we pretty much I was on recovery for about 6 to 12 months, because that operation was probably the biggest operation that I've ever had. So everything was going good, and up until now it was going all good, and there was no cancer, and I was just, obviously I still do find it very difficult to walk and go out with my mates. I'm still stuck indoors. I used to work out at my garage and do workouts through there, but around about, I don't know, 3 months ago, I started experiencing pains in my legs and my knees. So when I was with my mate Alex knows who he is, we were just chilling and my knee just started going into spasm. We didn't really know what was going on, but I was in a lot of pain. So Alex went home, I called my dad because they were at a party to come back home. And the spasm just kept going on and on and on. It honestly felt like I had glass in my ankle, and it spasmed all the way up to my knee and into the joint on my pelvis. So we were pretty much that passed. We went on holiday, and my knee just kept popping, and I don't know. We didn't really know why it was popping over and over again. So what we proceeded to do, go into holiday, and then we came back home, and then I had an emergency scan. Obviously, having a scan when you have a curved spine and lying completely straight is very difficult, because it's pretty much, it feels like you're sitting like lying on a rock. So what they proceeded to do is give me a bit of oxycodone, which is a very strong painkiller, pretty much relaxes your body. They had the scan and got all the results. When the results came back, the cysts have grown like a ridiculous amount, and it was pushing on nerves. And that was obviously the tumor was removed, but the main bit of the tumor was removed, but there was still fragments of the tumor all around. And obviously the cysts have grown with fluid, and that's been pushing against my nerves. So I went to the doctors yesterday. We were talking about the whole situation, looking at the spine, the scans and everything. So pretty much what happened is the cancer has, the tumor cancer has made the cysts a lot better, filled with fluids and blood and all like that, and it's been pushing against the nerves and causing me a lot of pain, and that's why the uploads have just not been coming out. It's pretty much, to say the least of it, my cancer kinda is back, and that's why it's been thin the fluids and everything. So what we talked about at the hospital yesterday, obviously I'm not very mobile at the moment. I can't really do anything. I'm stuck indoors doing nothing. It can be very depressing. I don't really see my mates much because I can't go out, and they all have jobs, girlfriends, going doing their own thing. So it's very difficult for me, and I can get very down. So what we were talking about is the treatments that we could do. Obviously there was a suggestion of chemotherapy, but if you didn't know, chemotherapy is very harsh. As I've been through it one time before, lost all my hair. It wasn't very nice, and it can make you very sick, constantly being sick, and it's just not nice. But that was round about 9 to 10 years ago I had chemotherapy, so it was a long time. So there's new drugs out now, and there's something called immunotherapy. So that's what they were talking about. Immunotherapy is a type of tablet-based thing. There's lots of different drugs, but this one pretty much targets the main problem, which would be the cysts, and I guess they kind of reduce them. So they're pretty much going to see if I'm able to and strong enough to be able to take them. Obviously it's like what they said, their own words, it's like chemotherapy but kinda, so it's not as harsh, it won't feel as bad, and it just is what it is. So I'm going to probably be looking to see if I can get on immunotherapy. They did recommend radiotherapy, which is a type of radiation, and it can just pretty much you stay in place, and they put a bit of radiation on you and try remove obviously the problem, which is the cysts and the tumor. Obviously that's very difficult for me because I have metal rods in my back, and as I said, once you do radiotherapy and you have rods in your back, if the radiotherapy goes through the metal, you don't know what happens. So they're kind of avoiding that situation and that option. So we're leaning towards immunotherapy. So in the next couple of weeks or months, we're going to be seeing if I'll probably be updating you if I'll be on immunotherapy or radiotherapy. And there is another thing called proton beam, which is pretty much radiotherapy but a lot more precise. So they can target like the cysts and the cancer. But like they said, it can still go through the metal and they won't know what happens. So it's still leaning towards that immunotherapy. So yeah guys, that's pretty much been the whole story. So I've been in a lot of pain recently, with just spasms, pains in my shoulder blades, knees, ankles, everything. Constant spasms, not being able to walk. It's just been very rough. So that's why I've not been uploading. So I thought I'd update you guys on what's really going on. I hope you understand that the uploads are probably going to be very slow from now on. Obviously you got the new COD coming out quite soon, so I'm going to try be uploading a bit of that. Obviously, I did want to go for #1 in the world, but now this has come out, it's going to be very, very difficult to do that. So I've obviously, a few of my friends do know that because I did tell them yesterday. So it is what it is, guys. So yeah, if you understand, guys, make sure to drop a like on this video, comment, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. Yeah.